Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasha. I'm the founder of Nourish Shanti, and I am going to talk about the Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, which is happening today, the 14th of January until the 3rd of February. And it's retrograding in Aquarius until the 25th of January, and then in Capricorn from the 25th of January until the 3rd of February. If this is your first on my channel, please do subscribe. I am a holistic healer, mostly trying to focus on more of my intuitive ways of healing. But I do all things astrology, yoga, meditation, sound healing, and anything else that wants to come up. And yeah, so I have evolved this channel so that I am more resonating for how I've transitioned as intuitive healer, not more focused just on yoga but on energy. And for me, a lot of the time, energy, especially astrology energy, is something to be guided by, to show you what is to come and what it is we play with. But we have the power of free will, so we can always change energy the way we want to, and energy is fluid, not linear. So some people feel, for instance, the retrograde a little bit more before the retrograde actually happens. But yeah, that's just to conclude that. So what is the Mercury retrograde? So Mercury retrograde happens about 3 to 4 times a year, depending on the year. And Mercury is all about our communication, our intellect, change of ideas. You talk, the way you connect mentally, change ideas, how you listen. And it also relates to transport. So when a retrograde happens, it's usually an opposing effect. So Mercury retrograde is a time to reflect, review, reorganize, and it's really a time to step back and to review your ideas, to review your intellect, to review how you're learning, to review how you're communicating. It's basically an inward step. Okay, it's not the time to start an idea. It's not the time to, well, I would say implement an idea. It's not a time to communicate your idea. It's not a time to really travel as much. And if you do travel, or you do any of this, it causes a delay or a little bit of disruption. So with all that being said, Mercury is retrograding in Aquarius first, okay? And looking at the overview, so we have a few very important dates. We've got the 14th of January being a Mercury retrograde, being the full moon happening on the 17th or 18th, depending where you're placed in the world. In the UK, it's the 18th. The full moon's happening in the morning, I think. And then in Cancer, and then we've got Venus retrograding in our work and our relationships. And then we've also got, what else? The North Node's changing from Gemini into Taurus. So from a more thinking to a more secure, stable value point. So with that all being said, okay, because we have to take the energy as a collective knowledge, not just of Mercury in Aquarius. We have to think about it on a overview. So I look at it in a way of, with Mercury retrograding, now as the energy as a whole, we've got a lot of aspects and forward moving coming in February. Okay, this retrograde is setting us up for success, in my opinion. I don't feel like it is going to be a bad retrograde. I feel like everybody needs this retrograde to happen. So when I look at Mercury in Aquarius, I think of myself, because my Mercury is in Aquarius, and it's very much to do with perspective, okay? A different perspective, like an eagle eye perspective. taking you into, okay, how can I look at this in a different point of view? Detaching from your emotions and thinking more from a different point of view. It's also forward thinking. So you're thinking about your future, and especially with the themes of work and love, because we're in that Venus retrograde, of course, and obviously this being a 2022, it's a 6 year, it's ruled by Venus, which is work and love and harmony and balance. How can we get balance within ourselves and our lives? And with the Mercury in Aquarius, it's about formulating ideas that potentially is unconventional, unorthodox, and being open-minded, you know, a little bit of free spirit energy coming in. And it's basically doing that. And also it's so intellectual, you know, like the mind. I always think of me, like I said before, Mercury in Aquarius, like my mind just expands, and that's kind of the theme, is expansion. But we have to be mindful of this, of course. With it being in retrograde, we can become overly like, maybe some of the ideas we come up with can be a bit insane, okay? And we need to not step into that. And this is why this retrograde is such a reflective period, of not to take action, but to reflect. That's the key aspect of, okay, right, I'm going to go inwards. What do I need? What do I need to do? And the thing is, with Aquarius being a very humanitarian energy, it's an air element, so it's very much thought-provoking, so it's deep thought that's going to be happening. Maybe you could be in a space where you're overthinking, and there is a little bit of impulsiveness with the retrograde, so refrain from being too impulsive. If you have an idea, rather write it down and journal about it and meditate on it, to ensure that when the retrograde finishes, you can start implementing it, start being organizing, you know, about organizing and structure. So being a little bit more organized in that sense. So this is where I want to introduce to you, I have reflected, and I would like to do, this idea has been for a little while, is I want to start putting on this YouTube some meditation and journaling prompts for the retrograde, and also the upcoming full moon, because between the period of the 14th of January until the 3rd of February, there's a lot of truth that's going to come up, okay? A lot of truth, unspoken truth. And because so Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is unexpected change, okay? So there could be revelations around this happening of unexpected change, or unexpected truths, unexpected communications. So therefore you need to refrain from having the urge to be unexpected, you know what I mean, to someone in, or to relationships and all that. So expect a lot of change, okay? We still have this, the external energies going on, okay, with the disruption of hierarchies and all that things. So there's a lot going on our external, even with the people around us. Now is a good time just to really focus on yourself. And this is why even myself, I've been struggling to get into, I've been meditating, but I've been struggling to be consistent with the meditation. I have I've been also doing a lot of reflecting already, and even with myself, speaking to my mentor this morning at uni, it was, you know, what do I need to do now? Like, I mean, like I can't see the solution to my problems at this moment, okay? And problems is more about my situation rather than me having a problem, because it's all learning and me evolving, and we are experiencing this as a collective, okay? Like literally I watched I have my own healers that I watch, and even hearing them, what they have to say, I'm just like, I resonate completely. But the whole point is, I would like to give some journal prompts and guidance so that we can move into this energy. This is what I've been called to do. And when it comes to my higher purpose, I do want to be impulsive with it, because when I get called to do something, I'm going to do it. And I feel like the collective can really use these journal prompts. So on the delivery, I'm going to figure out this weekend, and then you'll see it on this YouTube channel, so please do subscribe. But I feel like, because this is such an important month of change, okay, of reflection, that we need to go within. So make sure that meditation, if it's not a part of your daily ritual, you know, create it. Think of what you want, what makes you happy and you love to do in career and in love. Like, what is the truth that you want to be spoken, but do not speak it. Just reflect and reorganize, you know, in your work and your daily routine. Are you being productive as possible, or are you being default sabotaging self? It's all of these journal prompts that I really feel like we could all use, including myself. So, and we have the full moon coming up, the north node switching. So once I've finished recording this video, I'm going to record what the north nodes, what it means to switch, and then also the full moon in Cancer happening. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be an amazing Mercury retrograde, and consider it beneficial to you for future success, because this energy right now is forcing us to slow down and reflect and focus on ourselves more than anything, and making sure that we are setting ourselves up for success for the future. I have some recommendation videos that I want to click in the link, click down below. I feel like you will find a lot of value from this as a collective. And now I just want to pull some cards, just so that we have some, yeah, just some intuitive stuff going on. Okay, right. So just bear with me whilst I get my cards. So I'm going to start with the Angel of Abundance. Whoops. Oracle cards. Okay, let's just ground for a second. So what I've heard is just patience, okay? Knowing that everything will happen in divine timing, okay? So, whoops, we've got 2 cards already, so we'll just take these 2. Words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms. That is what you attract for yourself and others. Have courage to ask for and accept help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it, as it is offered to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept the assistance as well as give it to others as you are guided. Okay, sorry for that weird way of communicating that. So definitely. So there has been a collective way of the word of positive affirmations. I read this in another I heard this in another reading as well, and it's crazy how it's also popped up here. Is what is the words that you're using with yourself? Are you being quite negative, or are you being quite positive? And I feel like in a way you could potentially be negative. This is the card, by the way. You could potentially be influenced by negativity because you haven't seen progress, even though if you had to just step back for a second and reflect on how you were 6 months, there has been some type of progression, and maybe focusing on the positive rather than just the negative. And then there's another thing that has come to mind. It keeps popping up, to be honest, is ancestors or our past lives influences. So we have definitely had the limited beliefs as being imprinted on us as humans. We inherit past patterns from our parents, and our parents, going back to our ancestors. Okay, and what I feel that I would like to do is do a meditation on ancestors and welcoming in our ancestors and really seeing what comes up. And this is just a guided meditation, but it's in a way where we just connect to our ancestors. And I'm actually getting a little bit like goosebump sensation, so it's a good thing. It's a good feeling. It feels like an aha experience. So that's what I feel like with that situation. Then have courage to ask and accept help. I feel like this is a prompt with two things, because we're in the Mercury retrograde and it's about the internal, right? So do not fear if you can't figure out the answers whilst you're meditating on that day. If you have a question that's come up for yourself, right? Where am I going in my career? Where am I going in relationships? Where am I going in, because that's the themes, right? And then also because we're in the 9th house, I forgot to say, the 9th house is ruled by travel, wisdom, higher education, philosophies, so ethics. So reflecting back on yourself is, where do you want to travel? Where do you want to learn? How can you gain security in any of this, what I've just said? Your philosophies, are you going through a spiritual awakening? All these questions that you have, sit down, reflect, but ask your higher self, please guide me today. Please help me find the answers I seek in the next 2 weeks during this retrograde, or 3 weeks I should say. Allow me to just surrender and give back, or allow me to surrender and just be able to receive the messages that I'm guided to receive. Okay, then I feel like I am also called to just do the bottom deck energy here. Release resentments about money. Yes, the money system of the world can seem upsetting, but holding resentments about finances just pushes your abundance away. Instead, see money as a tool you can use to be better, to better the world, and shift will help you attract support in golden opportunities. And this is again releasing limited self-belief, in my opinion. Okay, I know that once you get the whole thing about the law of attraction, once you get rid of negative self-beliefs, you welcome in positivities. And we're actually going to do a positive affirmation jar, thank you very much, for sure, is you attract positivity, right? Positivity feeds positivity. My throat chakra is playing up. That might be significant. Communication, of course, Mercury retrograde. And positivity attracts positivity, so we want to make sure we're in that higher vibration state. Okay, let's move on. Let's leave that there. What am I gonna do next? I feel like I want to do, just see with this moonology what energy is coming with this flow. So higher guides, please. What messages for the collective, please? What messages are here for the collective? What messages are here for the collective, please? Okay. What messages are for the collective regarding Mercury retrograde? What messages are there for the collective regarding Mercury retrograde, please? What messages? Whoops. A lot of energy in this deck. New moon in Aquarius. Bring love into the situation. With this new moon in Aquarius, so new moons is about new beginnings, okay? And Aquarius is about that humanitarian aspect, unorthodox, and perspective, thinking, okay? So find a new way of reflecting on yourself, and but having love and compassion, because Aquarius can be, I forgot to say this as well, Aquarius can be very a thinking way of dealing with things and unfortunately it can lack emotion, and the balance is bringing love and compassion into situations. So with this Mercury in Aquarius, a retrograde is you can be quite blunt and quite direct without having that love and compassion aspect. So be careful of that, or people can have that same effect on you. So try not to, with the truths that people are speaking to you, try to listen without reacting, and then reflect on that and relook at that later on when the retrograde is finished as well. So coming back to this energy for yourselves, it is a new way of thinking at your current situation and bringing love into that. The bottom energy is communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Gemini is very intellectual as well. There's loads of air energy here, so thinking energy, intellectual communication energy, reflecting on the way you communicate your truth. I'm picking up on this energy right now we're in is all about you, right? So we want to make sure that we that's the one card. Sorry, I keep forgetting to show the cards. I got all the cards here by myself. I apologize. So it's about a new way of your communication, but this is not, all of these is not about, it's not about taking action with the way you think about yourself in terms of your ideas. I'm going to put that as your ideas. And communication, it's about reflecting on what are your new ways of communicating. Are you being sympathetic to situations? Are you understanding that there are two... Okay, my camera just stopped. Just take it easy going. Okay, so that's where we're at. Oh, something that I've just seen with this card is Gemini energy is a very much a, you know, it's the shadow side. Oh, there's a few more things that are coming up. Okay. The first one is mirroring, okay? Be aware to journal this mirroring aspects, like the people in your life. Stuff that aggravates you is stuff that you need to work on your shadow self. If someone has said something to you and it creates this like anxiety, like frustration, then you need to do some shadow work on that, okay? Be mindful of the mirroring and people around you. Another thing with Mercury retrograde is with the people around you is making sure that, again, are you serving the stuff that we need to reflect on is the people around us really, really serving us to our highest power? Like, really, is there, you know, people that are trying to control situations out of fear, i.e. controlling you? Like, get rid of that. And then another thing is with the Gemini aspect is taking the time to focus on your shadow self. And a shadow self is your self-sabotaging self, is past patterns, past emotions being in your present. And you want to obviously step into a higher vibration, and that's really working through that deep levels of yourself. Okay, let's move on to the Wisdom Oracle. And these Wisdom Oracles, I'm just going to be taking from Intuitive Point because I want to. Okay, what messages for the collective regarding Mercury Retrograde? Okay, we have 2. Okay. We've got Treasure Island, number 9. 39, New Life. And the bottom deck energy is Serendipity. Okay, so when I'm looking at this Treasure Island, okay, we have, okay. I'm just trying to sit with the card for a second. There's a turtle, there's the money box, well, the treasure, of course, with love hearts and stars. And we've got the higher purpose in the box. We've got deep emotions in the water. And we've got number 9. Okay. So what I'm picking up from this card is, firstly, a turtle reminds me of slow moving, okay? And the water is very much the emotions. You see how the treasure is at the top of the water rather than the bottom. So I feel like it's dealing with these emotions in order to connect to the treasure box. And also there, you can look at this as the mind and the emotion part of yourself. And we're wanting to connect to our crown chakra, which is our higher selves. And those gifts lays there, is with our higher selves, is with the divine. What also comes to mind is divine timing, slow movement. The universe, higher purpose, whatever you want to call it, is our treasure is coming. But we need to put in the time. You think about a treasure island, it's an island. You have to swim to get to it, right? So think of it as an analogy of we have to swim through our emotions, through our reflections, through our life, purpose, discovery, all that to get to our treasure. But with the help of our higher selves, okay? And number 9 is the end of a cycle. So that just says it all. With we need to end some cycles. We need to, especially with the North Node going into Taurus, it's an end of a life cycle of we've learned resilience, we learned adaptability. Now we're going to go into what makes us secure, okay? What makes us feel safe in work and relationships. So what does balance mean to us? And I love this card, actually. It's just such an overall way of looking at it, is reflecting on what makes us happy within balance with work and relationships in order for us to open up to receive this gift. So there's a lot of reflection time happening. But not getting caught up in the water. Don't get caught up in the emotions of things. Have your purging session, but it's time to move forward because we want to move forward. And slow and steady wins the race comes to mind. Okay, so our divine timing is coming. Then obviously from that we've got a new life, and that just says it all really. 39 breaks into a 12, which breaks into a 3, which means abundance. And a new life is on the horizon, but we need to go through this treasure island, this reflection, this movement to get our abundance. And I would say as well, this fairy looks like she's stretching. Okay, so relax, you know, not everything has to be so quick paced and everything needs the answers now. Take the time to relax. And serendipity, being in the right time, being in the right moment at the right time. And this is also number 9 card. And you see that there is like the cloves with the 4 petals. So abundance is here. Everything is in divine timing. That's how I'm seeing it, is know that slow and steady wins the race, and that it's our time now to just have faith. Okay, trust that we'll be in the right moment, in the right time, and we are actually in the right moment, in the right time right now, which is great. Okay, let's just get a few more cards. Okay, any messages for the collective regarding this Mercury retrograde, please? Mercury retrograde. Ha! I love it. Rest. Retreat, rest, be held. Deep replenishment. Exactly. Exactly. I'm not going to even say anything else. It's all about you right now. This is what I'm so called to be doing. Journaling, meditating. We're going to do some yoga, self-love, all that jazz coming in. Bottom check energy is play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Creativity is a great way to shift into an energy of your own purpose and power. Find out what makes you happy within creative. Maybe you have always wanted to do that painting that you've always wanted to do, like start it, but for yourself, not to be like sold online. Just do it for yourself. Have some playtime with yourself, you know. Okay, I want to pick this divine nature. It's different elements. This is off Etsy. Any messages for the collective regarding this spread, please? Of course. Air. My mind is free, and I'm going to just read it here. The air element symbolizes intelligence, practicality, joyful imagination, higher consciousness. Spend time outside to clear your mind. Feel the cool breeze on you. Feel the air fill your lungs and bring life to you. Breathe in ideas, thoughts, and wisdom. Allow curiosity to channel in new ideas that may welcome new exciting paths in your life. That just says it all. Okay, love it. Then we've got this affirmation deck. So I'm just going to, any messages regarding this spread, please? Any messages for Mercury retrograde? Please, any messages for Mercury retrograde? Any messages for Mercury retrograde? I am a work in progress, but I'm on the right path. Yes. Love it. Back in the deck energy, fairy air. I have the power to change my life today. And you know what's crazy? I like, whenever I have this like emotional effect of like aha moments, this is my January calendar that I have available to download. I'll put the link in the description below. But I meditated, and I basically did every month what is the affirmation for the month. And literally this, I have the power to change my life today. Love it. Okay, we've got some self-care cards. I just would like to just pick one for the collective on any self-care that we need to focus on, because obviously we are dealing with ourselves. Any messages for the collective regarding our Mercury retrograde, please? Any messages for the collective? Any messages for the collective, please? Any messages? Any messages for the collective? Any messages? Okay, so we have flow like water. And bottom deck energy is sing. So connecting, I look at this and we got another number 9 card here. And another number 6, which is, you know, that balance and harmony. Flow like water. So waters will go with the flow in terms of what's coming up in the energy. Sing is connecting to your, how I see singing is connected to your solar plexus, and that is your personal power, your creativity, and your intuition as well. It could be with your intuition, but it's basically being creative, singing your own song, you know, singing, letting your truth be spoken, but within yourself, of your reflection point of view. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed it, and good luck with your Mercury retrogrades. And I do have another video, a full more in-depth video about Mercury retrograde, so I'll link it up above here. And we'll see you for the full moon and the North Node's changing videos, and I will be posting this challenge on Monday, because that will be technically when the full moon will be the day after, and it will be a great way to start grounding in this emotional coming up time, because the full moon in Cancer is a very emotional sign, and that's why this is why I feel that it's such a great time for Mercury to be in Aquarius, because it's giving us that thought and intellect with our emotions, is balancing the mind and our emotions, balancing our mind and our heart. So we're going to do a lot of, what I'm called to do is a lot of heart chakra, grounding chakras, personal power, intuition, creativity, that type of thing that I'm called to do. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please share it with those who you love, and thanking your guides and my guides for helping us with the message today. Bye bye.